Gina Ronay show. I would like to introduce everyone to Ms Edna Somerhalder. She is the mother of Mr. Ian Somerhalder. He is someone we have all spent hours and hours and hours fawning over and watching on Vampire Diaries. Myself, my daughter included, we have absolutely just fawned over this boy, bless his poor heart, because I know lots of women do that. So I personally, for all of the women out there, would like to thank you for making such a beautiful man come into this world, because in my opinion, your son compares to Elvis. And no one else compares to Elvis to me. He was the most beautiful man that ever walked the planet. And I think your son is very comparable to that, which is saying,
oh, thank you.
you're welcome. So I think I'm not the only one. So thank you very much.
That's an honor. Thank you.
Yeah. So we definitely see where he gets his beautiful eyes from. Definitely. And all of your children have that. Do you want to tell us a little bit about all of your children?
Oh, great. I love all of them the same. My ex used to think that Ian was my favorite. And then it turned out to be Robin is my favorite. But no, Robin is the oldest. She's the only girl. And then I had Bob like almost not quite a year later. And then here comes Ian 7 years later. So I always tease him. I always tease him. I tell him he's my favorite mistake.
Terrible. But, it's a good mistake.
Yes, but no, all my children are the sweetest people that I've ever met.
They are, and moms can be very
prejudiced.
Yeah, all of our children are the best, but I can say I don't know Ian very much, but Bob and Robin, literally one of my favorite people ever, and my children noticed it because they still talk about how sweet they are and how much they love them to death. And I am more of a fan of Bob now than I am of Ian.
That happens.
Yes, he is such an amazing person. He's such a good husband. He is just his aura is unbelievably happy and amazing and just a really good person. So you are.
He really is. He really is. He's my rock, actually. I can go to him for just about anything and he can figure it out if he can't do it. So
I can see that. Yeah, we all love Mr. Bob. We call him around here.
Yes.
Girls talk about him all the time. And I want to tell you, I think I've told you this before, but he is such a good spirit and aura about him that one of my daughters was talking about him one day and said, Mama, I want to be like Bob and happy like Bob.
Oh.
And I was like, that's so neat.
Oh, that is sweet. That is sweet.
Yes, he is that sweet of a person that a child noticed what an amazing person he is. So yeah, you definitely have some wonderful babies.
Thank you. I do. I thank you.
So I wanted to go over with you one of my favorite stories that I just heard the other day and let everyone hear it about how Ian got started, because I have, I've seen a few things that say that he went and modeled overseas and things like that. But I don't think anybody has really heard the real fun at home, what happened at home story. And it's just such an interesting story to me. So if you could share that with us.
Oh, the very beginning. Oh, okay. Yeah, he was just a happy-go-lucky kid his whole life. And then he started wanting things like a new bicycle, a new fishing gear, and that kind of stuff. And of course, I had 3 kids. So, at that time, it was a little difficult to just get them ever get anything they wanted. So he thought he could make money. And he was too young to push a lawnmower in our little town. So he said, well, maybe I can model one day. And I said, well, that's probably a good idea. And so we during the next week, there was an audition at one of the malls across the lake somewhere. And so we went over there one day, and I think it was a Sunday afternoon, and he was signed up that afternoon. So He did really well. And then he went to a competition in Hilton Head. And so he was in all kind of categories there, and he won them all, of course. But and then that's when he got signed up with Ford Modeling Agency for Children, or the children's division. So that's how it all started.
He made enough money to
Buy him a bicycle, the best trail bike. He's got saltwater, freshwater fishing gear. So that was his goal, was to get enough fishing gear and a bicycle. So he's got it.
Fishing and ride bikes, all of us. Because I'm serious, I've watched
Mhm.
about 5 times all the way through,
Yeah.
including the originals and legacies. So I have watched it constantly. And if I'm just sitting around the house and I have nothing to do, or I'm cleaning the house, I put that
Mhm.
on, and it's just I know every word by heart almost. Really,
Oh, well, that's great. I appreciate that, though.
yeah, we've spent a lot of time with that show for sure. And I'm going to show this on the screen so that everybody can see it. But this is the picture
Oh, yeah.
of him. So he should be around that age, right? Close to the age.
No, he was a little older. I think.
Little
Yeah,
bit.
he was about 10. Yeah, he was about 10 when he started this whole venture.
Yeah. So this is
Mhm.
her children. So Bob, Ian, and Miss Robin.
Robin. Mhm.
So we have a few more pictures here that she has shared with us of him. So let's see. This is Ian as a baby. I was shocked.
Oh, yeah. A little redhead. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's
Yes.
sweet. And do you?
Mhm.
I don't know if I've told you this. All 3 of my babies were strawberry blonde when they came.
Really? No, you did not tell me. Oh,
Yes.
oh, well, I could see Bella maybe doing it,
Mhm.
but the others, wow.
Yeah, all 3 of them, and some of them still think Jovi and McCartney have some red in their hair.
Yeah, yeah.
So then, how old was he in this picture? Because is this a modeling picture?
Yes, that's when he was about 10, about 12 in that one. Yeah.
Okay, so you'd been doing it for
Mhm.
about 2 years.
Yeah, he'd been, yeah, because we would go to New York with him a couple of years. And then once he got old enough to send by himself to Milan and those places, he would go by himself.
So how old was he when he went there by himself?
He was about 16. So, that's when I had to cut the little apron strings and just let him go.
I
Had to
cannot
let
imagine.
him go. Mhm.
I can
Yeah.
imagine. But now that I'm a mom to a 15-year-old who's almost 16, I do
Yeah.
that more. I dropped them off at the mall the other day for
Yeah.
her and my 13-year-old because
Mhm.
some of them are more mature at that age.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I knew that I raised him. So, I mean, you have to trust what your work, you have to trust your work that you put into your children. So I was hoping, and so far, so good. So,
Yeah, sometimes I'm thinking I failed as a mother, and then other days I'm grateful, and
well,
my kids are amazing. So
yeah, your little girls are just lovely too. They really are. I enjoyed meeting them so much. I know you're a good mother as well. So
thank you.
you're a
Well, I have
little,
to tell everybody after meeting everybody from the Vampire Diaries cast because we went to a convention.
mhm,
We have conventions, and there'll be
mhm.
here May 22nd, I believe, in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
So they're coming again here to Nashville. We actually went to LA, which is where I met you for the first
Mhm, mhm. Yes.
after meeting all of those people, her favorite person that she met was you. There's
Oh, how sweet.
13 at the time, I believe.
Yes. Mhm. Yes.
Her favorite thing was meeting you. So for
Yeah.
months, and I'm talking like 6 months, she had her picture of you and her on her phone because she thought
Oh, well, I still have it. I have mine. Yes.
you.
I still, yep, I still have it.
I
Yes.
loved it. And I thought she would have Ian
Mhm.
as well because she was so excited to meet them.
Yeah.
She had Miss Edna because she just
Yep.
loved you to best. So,
Well, I still have it. So,
a couple of more pictures that she has shared with us, some family pictures.
oh, yes.
This is
Now that was the first Mardi Gras after Katrina. So everyone was trying to make, New Orleans uh easy again, the big easy. And so that was the very first Mardi Gras. And
okay.
so they all got together and were able to go together.
And that is all of her children. That is Robin, Bob, and Ian.
Mm-hmm.
And we have.
And needless to say, I did have my choice of naming Ian because their father's name is Robert.
Mm-hmm.
So then he named Robin, and then Robert the third. And I said, okay, it's my pick. I'm naming Ian. And my dad always read a lot of Ian Fleming, so I always liked that name. So that's what. Yeah. So, all the other R's were driving me nuts. So I said Ian, and that was easy enough. So
it's beautiful. We all love it. So this, I'm assuming, is a picture of you and Ian.
Yes. Mm-hmm. In our front yard, we were on the bayou. We lived on the bayou for about 7 years. So when I brought Ian home from the hospital, that's where we were living, right there on the bayou in Lacombe.
Wow.
Yeah. He's a bayou boy. That was his playground.
Well, I've always thought that him and Bob favored each other, but after seeing this picture, I really think they favor each other a lot.
They do. They really do.
I would have thought this was Bob if you hadn't have told me.
Nope, that's Ian. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
with his little grin. He was always a happy child, though. He just had a little smile, and well, Bob too, and he just had that little grin on his face that I knew he was into something. I could always tell.
that on Vampire Diaries too. So maybe
he does. He's got that little grin. He does.
Practiced it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons and tons and tons of TikToks and memes of his little grin. And we of course love it. Everybody loves it. That's why there's thousands of them. So okay, so I was going to show this picture of his modeling as well.
Yes, that was like his first little picture that his photo shoot, I guess you might say.
What you were telling me about.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
you were telling me whose shirt is this, or
okay. Well, it was the other one actually when he's standing up. It was another one that I sent. And poor darling, yes, he had on Robin's watch, her tennis shoes, Bob's jacket, Bob's pants, and the only thing he had on of his was his belt.
That's so great.
I had to buy him a belt, but yeah.
This was his first modeling picture.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so neat. So everybody, this is Ian's first modeling picture ever, and then wearing his siblings' clothes. And of course, it's absolutely gorgeous too.
Well, we're kind of like they were kind of like the Three Musketeers, all for one and one for all. That's kind of the motto we've had for years.
Yeah. So this is one of my favorite pictures that you sent. I absolutely adore this picture, and it really shows how you definitely gave him his eyes and his look.
Oh, yeah. We were in New York, and actually, that photo, the very first person in New York who photographed him, I forget his name. There were so many of them, but that was his very first photographer he had ever had.
Oh wow!
And he remembered after all those years, the photographer did. So
wow, that's so neat. Wow, so he helped him kind of get started too.
Yeah, mm-hmm. He did really good photos.
Not that it would be hard, or it'd be hard to take a bad picture of it. Yeah, I'm kind of jealous with that because good grief, is he just a beautiful person? He is just.
Thank you, and he really is. He's a sweet person. So, I'm really when we started, I had no idea that he would go as far as he did, but I did not, regret doing what we did. So it was a lot of work on both our parts, but it was worth it. And that's what he wanted to do. And I felt I needed to help him. So it was worth it was worth every worry. Because believe me, when I sent him to Milan by himself at 16, that's when the fears start kicking in. But like I said, I raised him. I did the best I could. So I was just trusting that he would, go on those instincts of being totally what he should be, this good little Southern boy. So.
So is he still a Southern boy?
Oh, yes. A Southern boy at heart. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, because
definitely.
Bob is definitely a Southern boy with his dog and his hunting dog and his
Yeah,
fishing and all that.
yes, he loves Louisiana. He really does. And he's got a nice little piece of property that he wants to build a camp on, just a fishing camp. I mean, nothing fancy or anything, but we'll do it one day. But yes, he's got a little piece of the bayou right down from where we used to live. Right where
Oh, fun.
uh Ian.
Okay,
Ian.
fun.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I'm assuming that this is their father. We talked about
Yes.
this one's
Yes.
their father. So this
Yes.
I'm actually going to zoom into that a little bit so everybody
Hmm.
can see the dad. Even though it's
Yep.
Mother's Day, we want to
Yep.
focus on Mama, but everybody might be interested in seeing a picture of his dad. Just
Well, it's really difficult. Well, listen, it's difficult to get a straight picture from his dad with the three of them.
uh-huh.
He's making somebody laugh or somebody's making somebody else laugh, and it's not pretty, believe me. It never turns out. So I have probably no pictures of them together.
Oh. So here is a really good picture of your children. I love this one of all of your babies too. So
Oh yes, that was a nice one. Yes. Yes.
was this at one of the conventions or something?
That was his very first Marty Paws.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's not a convention, but well, it's a parade, and then I guess an event to raise money, and yeah, he was able, and I think the SPCA was involved in that one. But yes, he helped with the SPCA.
So every year Ian does a charity event to raise money for, if you want to tell me
Mhm.
about that.
It's just different ones. There's a couple here, and I'm not sure. I don't want to really say the names because I'm liable to get them confused. But there's a couple of things that he loves to do every year for them. So, and it helps with the SPCA and the another one here. But his very first pet was from the SPCA.
Okay, so here's a fun question for you because with my dad, I kind of know what this feeling is like. It's got to be completely different with your son, though. But what's it like to have all those women fawning over your son constantly?
Oh my gosh, it's kind of weird.
No.
But yeah, sometimes it's too much information, but no, it's just I think sometimes it's funny. But I'm thinking, oh gosh, that's my little boy. But now he's a grown man, so it's a little different now. And now that he's a dad, I think of him differently as well. So and he's a good little daddy, and so it's kind of turning around for him. It's not quite as crazy. I would guess not quite as crazy. But I mean, it is what it is.
Like she would pass out. So, I don't think it's that damn much. So,
No, no. Honestly, it was kind of weird at first, but I kind of, in a way, intuitively knew it was going to happen, and so it didn't bother me per se, but it just kind of concerned me at some point.
yeah.
So,
Oh
and
yeah.
then yeah, and then sending him away so young, like his modeling. But once he got a little older, I mean, you can only, as a parent, you can only hope for the best.
Yeah.
So.
So when I when I first started with Facebook, it was so new, and I let most of my dad's friends or fans be my friend on Facebook. And
Mhm.
in one of the posts that I saw, it said, "Who would you like to be in an elevator stuck with?" And they were all saying my dad, and they were saying some pretty vulgar things, and I mean it was bad. So to
Right.
pick on them, I went on there and said, "You guys know I can see you, right?" And they were dying. They were like, "Oh no!" They said we scarred Athena for life, and I was like, "I'm used to it," but I just
Yeah.
had to pick on you. So they were all like,
Right.
"Oh, I'm so sorry."
Oh no.
It was pretty
But
bad stuff.
exactly, exactly.
So
But you see them, or like that was your dad, and then this is my son. So they're two different um person, I
I know,
guess, personalities, you might say.
yeah,
So he's still my baby boy. He's still my youngest. So
Well, that's why I wondered that question. We've never talked about that, and I wondered what it's like for you. And you just like, do you want to go, hey, stop that? So,
Well, and now growing up, when Bob was in high school, of course, Bob was Mr. Football everything at St. Paul's, his little school that he attended. And then Ian would be on the football field and they'd say, get Bob's little brother off the field. And then now it's Ian's big brother,
that's so fun. The
so
tables.
it's cute.
Yeah. But I know when Bob goes to these conventions too,
Oh,
he, his wife Tina, they actually do the
exactly.
and have a booth and they sell products there. And
Mhm.
I know when he's there, he is a celebrity too. And Dina's
Exactly. Yes.
so excited to meet them too. So
Yes.
yeah.
Well, and then when I met your little daughter, and then she wanted to picture with me, I'm thinking, there you go, Mr. Ian.
So when
But no,
we go to
but I,
concerts and stuff, and people will ask for their autographs, and they're like,
yeah,
they're like, okay, but then after a
right.
while, they think it's so fun too. They're like,
Yes,
that was so neat. So yeah.
yeah.
So I want to tell one other thing that your son is doing with Paul Wesley, the other
Oh,
guy
yeah.
from Vampire Diaries. Actually went and bought this.
His
Right,
other brother.
his other brother, Paul. They have started their own bourbon company, and this is called Brothers Bond Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So it's Brothers Bond, which, if you did watch their show, the brother Bond from the Vampire Diaries was kind of what made the show as amazing as it was,
Mhm.
except for the fact that they were both absolutely strikingly beautiful. So, but the bond too, that is
Yes.
we all love. So, I actually went and had my local store ask them to carry this for me. So, if you don't have this in your area, you can go to your liquor store that's in your area and ask them to carry Brothers Bond for you, because that's what I did.
Mhm.
My local guy got it for me, and he said it sounded like crazy in there. So, this is his new venture. And I actually went and purchased this yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so they are actually on the cover of American Whiskey. This
Mhm.
is a current magazine, so you can go right now and get this at Barnes and Nobles, and I'm sure other places too. This where I picked it up was Barnes and Nobles. So
Mhm.
they're on the cover for their whiskey right now. So this is his newest venture, and it is absolutely amazing, amazing whiskey. So I actually had it for the first time with you. So
That's true. That's true.
yeah,
We had it at my house. Yes.
yeah. So now
We
that I'm
tested
on the
it.
show, I get to pop the top on this.
Exactly. Well, I have one too. So after this, I may pop the top on that one too.
Yeah. Yes, it's so great. Is there anything else that you wanted to go over or talk about before we go?
Well, it's just if mothers out there, um, if their children really want to do something, even though the mother or father doesn't agree, I just think it's important that they help them find out if that's what they really want to do. So, I mean, it took a lot of nerve and my last money to get him started, and it was worth every hour and every penny. So, for the parents and the mothers, especially out there, if their children want to do something, help them make it possible. Believe in your children.
Very true. Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
If it weren't for you and your passion for your children, we would not have that, or it would be
Well, if it
different. And, you know,
right, and if it doesn't work out, then they can move on. At least they've tried. You never know till they try.
well,
So,
thank you so much for being on my show. I appreciate it
oh, you're
very
very welcome. My pleasure. My
much.
pleasure.
And I hope you have a fabulous Mother's Day. And once
Oh, I will. I will. I'm sure. I'm sure. And you too. I hope you have a wonderful day.
But I want to say once again, thank you for making beautiful, beautiful children. All three of them are amazing. So
Thank you.
thank you very much.
And I do have to wholeheartedly agree. They are wonderful, sweet children.